Welcome back, fellow coders. Jared O'Leary here with BootUp. In this video, I'm going to show you how to keep score in our Sprite catcher game. So first thing we want to do is we want to create a new variable, something like Sprite's caught. Now, what I want to do is make it so that when I click on the Sprite, it's going to change the number by 1 and kind of keep score for me. Now, I need to make sure that when I do that, that when I reset or initialize, so this is my reset function right here, I want to start off with 0 sprites caught. So at the very beginning, I haven't caught anything. And now whenever we click on it, it's going to say that we caught one of the sprites. Now, this was pretty easy location to put it in. What we can actually also do is check for a high score. So we can make another variable, and we can call it something like most sprites caught. And if we were signed in and a scratcher, then it would have a little cloud next to it. So that way it'll store it across all of the users who are scratchers. And we're going to check after this whether or not we have a high score. So we're going to create a new message and say check for high score. And we're going to broadcast that after we change our high score. So what's going to happen inside of here is we're going to check to see if we got a high score or not. So we're going to say if the sprites caught is greater than the most sprites caught, then we're going to set the most sprites caught to our sprites caught. Okay, that was a mouthful. So we're going to check our high score, and if the number of sprites caught is a larger number, greater than our most sprites caught, then we're going to set it to this. Now, what we can also do is add this previous code in here and say, otherwise just say you found me, and if it is a new high score, instead of saying you found me, say something like new high score, pwn, you are awesome, the best, whatever. And we can even add this inside of here as well, so it'll always meow. So now when we click it, it'll make the meow sound, and then it will set the new high score if it's greater than that. So if instead of using the when the sprite is clicked, you're using a function that checks if touching the mouse when clicked. So this will say if you click and it's touching the sprite, then you're going to say you found me, otherwise you're going to say you missed. So all you have to do for here to do the score is you can change the score by 1 right here, and then maybe change it by -1 right here. So that way a player will lose some points or gain some points. And then if you wanted to check for the high score, you could do that right here by putting that inside of this forever loop. So it'll check it after it runs that.